The more that I heal, the more I realize how much noise is out there. Society is very noisy, and I feel like there's just a lot of things out there that are trying to grab people's attention and focus. And it's just interesting because in my own life, what I recognize is at this point in my life, on my journey of healing, I'm doing the best that I can to bring all of my focus, awareness, and energy back to myself and into my body. And there's just a lot of noise out there that's trying to pull my focus away from me, right? And it's always been there, and there's a very good chance that it will continue to be there. What you give your focus to, it stays, you know? But I would argue that a far majority of stuff out there, like 99.99% of everything, is just noise. It's irrelevant. It's just a distraction, and it's going to pull you away from you, right? It's kind of like the people that are boundaryless, the people that try to get you to be consumed by their frame, right? It's just a distraction. It has nothing to do with you. And the reason why I recognize that it's so important to understand this, especially at this point right now on my journey of healing, is very simple. The more I can see it for what it is, the more I know exactly what to do with it, right? And when I say that, I mean literally. Like, it's like you look at that and you recognize, like, okay, that's just what that is. It's just noise, not to get consumed. And, you look at the media, right? You look at the news and stuff, right? It's just an ongoing thing of stories and stories and stories and stories and stories that are what I would argue to be irrelevant, right? The most important thing that you can do for yourself is to recognize the noise and see it just for what it is. Noise. Is it relevant to your life? Probably not. Is it going to do anything for you? I would argue not. What's the best thing that you can do for yourself? Bring all of your focus, awareness, and energy back to yourself and into your body. Because it can and it will distract you. And if it does distract you, it will pull you away from everything that's actually important to you. This is what I've noticed for myself in life. And the more that I actually sit with it and recognize it for what it is, I'm actually like, I'm at the point now where it's like, it's just noise. It's just noise. That's all that it is. Um, One of the biggest reasons I would argue that a lot of people get sucked into it or get consumed by it is because they have their own stuff in life that they're not comfortable with looking at, right? Everyone has their own shit. That's just the reality of it. And for a lot of people to look at that stuff is very painful. And so what they'd rather do is, what's going on with that person over there? Or how about that person, right? It pulls their focus away from themselves. Um, and I just recognize it, and it's like, okay, well, it's just noise. It's like food that is not at all nutrient dense, right? It has nothing for you. It's like eating something that's just, it doesn't have any benefit for your body. It doesn't nourish you in in any way. It's just a distraction. That's what a majority of everything is out there. It's the next thing. It's the next thing. It's the next thing. It's just a distraction. And the more that you can see it for what it is and pull yourself away from it, the better of a benefit it will be for you. And this is what I've done too. I've literally started telling people, I don't care. I don't care. And I've noticed too that like people get upset, right? They're like, well, just because you don't care doesn't mean it's not going to go away. Or no, yeah, just because you don't care doesn't mean it's going to go away. It's like, okay, I still don't care, right? Like I just don't. Um, it's like not caring about it is a selfish pursuit. It's like, no, it's not. Um, a lot of people don't realize that one of the biggest, I guess, challenges with people is that they're out of touch with their own sense of mortality, right? They're distracted. It's not a fun thing to look at the fact that physically you are not going to be here someday. It's not fun. It's not, right? So the distraction of, ooh, what's going on over there? What's going on over there? We fill our lives with noise, whether like actual like audible or like physical, like materialistic stuff, right? To distract ourselves from the reality that someday we're not going to be here. And it just continues to be a distraction, right? And the more that you can, like, I personally believe, based on my own experiences, um, that the more you really sit with yourself and you just get away from all of the noise, the more clarity you get on yourself and your life and what it is you want and need, and the happier you get, right? I look at people that are like consumed by all this noise out there, both, audible, like from the media and everything, and like, and also like things like materialistic things, and like I look at them and how they go about their life, like they're anxious. I don't think they're happy. I don't think they are. I think that they're worried about this, that, and the other. Worry does not equal happiness. That might be like a trauma response. It might be like what you're used to, like what you think it is, but no, happiness is happiness. Anxious attachment to all these different things is not happiness. It's not. It's comfort, it's familiarity based on childhood stuff, but it's not happiness, right? And so I see all these people, and it's like, if you really want the real thing, you've got to step away from the noise. You've got to look at yourself. You got to recognize that you are not perfect, and I know that that hurts, but a lot of people like to believe in illusion, and it's just not true. You got to go inside yourself. You got to like look at your inner universe and everything. Uh, Again, the unexamined life is not worth living. What you are unaware of will probably mess you up. It will. And if you're unaware of everything being just noise, like 99.99% of stuff just being just noise. And by the way, that's a very far majority of stuff. That's like that is pretty much everything, right? So if that's really the case, which it is, because everything out there is really just transient. You look at stories, you look at noise, you look at everything out there, just one thing after another, right? I think it was Winston Churchill that said, history is one damn thing after another. Well, so is everything else. Look, the stories never stop. And there's always going to be another one. There's always going to be another one. It's there to pull you in, to consume you, to make you deplete yourself of your energy, right? And then the next thing will pop up, and then that thing will consume you the same way. The sooner you can be present and recognize that everything out there is just noise, the sooner your life will change in ways that you didn't even previously perceive of. It's very transformative.